I start to believe if I were to bleed, then sky the man shakes his hands held high. Cruise me, Lord, cruise me, babe. A blonde beyond, no return, no return. So cruise me, baby, home. And the rain sets in. It's the angel man. Anti-rain. Cruise me,
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Porthole to Justice, the window to the truth. I'm your host, Amelia Duran, and it is Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. And I'm back with kind of a fun podcast this evening, something different. I've got my friend Jacob Schreffler, who is he's an investigative journalist. First of all, we met. I was a guest on his show, The Arrow Chaser. And let's see, hang on. Hi, Jacob, are you with me?
Hello, it's good to be here.
Hi, welcome to the podcast. Okay, we're live. I was just playing that David Bowie song, and I hope I didn't want to play too much of it because then it might not go to YouTube, but that's okay. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So I was just kind of explaining the origins of our friendship. I think we've been friends for quite some time on the internet. I think we were friends prior to actually doing hosting the interview I did with you regarding my case on your show, The Arrow Chaser.
Right. My personal blog is Arrow Chaser. My show's the LS Report.
Yeah, and I think I originally had you on my podcast, and we featured the Schaefer Cox story, which is probably your main story that you profile, right?
That's definitely the main case that I've been public about.
Yeah. So and so we've kind of bonded though over Twin Peaks. We both love Twin Peaks, the series Twin Peaks, directed by David Lynch.
I'm a big David Lynch fan.
You and I think it's been really, I want to say it's been 4 years, right?
I think you're right about that.
Because I think we were kind of friends just on the internet, for a couple years. But I've recently, we've been starting to get back into the whole Twin Peaks series, which was originally released back in April 8th of 1990. And I think I was 15 years old. And to me, it was, it was the most exciting thing to come on the TV every week, and nobody understood my fascination with this TV series. Nobody understood me growing up. Nobody still understands me. I feel like, but
I can tell you, I know what that's like.
Yeah, so, but you and I recently, we will go over these series for hours. We'll have conversations for hours on the phone. And, I think, he's an artist as well as a filmmaker. So there's all art is kind of subjective. So there's so many different layers and perspectives, and elements that go into this series. And the reason why I wanted to kind of talk about it with you on the show was because, there's like this undercurrent. I think everybody has sort of a melancholy, being at home on quarantine. And I just think to rewatch the whole Twin Peaks series right now is so cool because it has it's got that undercurrent, and then it's got that veil, that really thin veil of mystery of the two sort of clashing realities, and then it's got the small town corruption, and and it's even got the local officials, that corruption and drama that's going on, and it even goes into a little bit of the human trafficking, that corruption. And I think David Lynch, he's probably, besides Zeph Daniel, one of the only art filmmakers that have really touched on the issue, even back in 1990, and not like in a way where it was more. I mean, it's more art, but I mean, I think it's really relevant, and I think for people to watch this series again in quarantine is awesome. So what do you? I just wanted to open up with that.
Well, I can tell you that you're the one who turned me on to Twin Peaks. I had seen some things before on YouTube about it, and the only thing I'd ever heard was that David Lynch was a Satanist. That seems to be the big thing that they're saying on YouTube, right? And I was surprised when I looked at it that I found that this guy really should just come out as a Bible scholar. That's the way I look at it. It's just he's operating on a different level. Who David Lynch really reminds me of Stanley Kubrick. It's just he's one of those artists. He's operating on a higher plane. He's not well understood by certain elements, but he really is someone worth taking the time to look at. I think Twin Peaks is probably the best thing you could look at that he did. And Blue Velvet, I say, should go with Twin Peaks. Blue Velvet was a movie made earlier, and it's kind of like a prototype of Twin Peaks. Blue Velvet has Kyle MacLachlan in it again as the lead role. I think he might be one of David Lynch's favorite actors. He's used
Kyle
him,
MacLachlan
3 or 4 times.
Yeah, he was in Dune, which I thought the book series was excellent when I was younger. He was in his film series Dune, and then he was also in Blue Velvet, and then he was also cast as Dale Cooper in Twin Peaks, the investigator. Yeah,
There's just so many avenues you could go down if you try, talking about the whole Twin Peaks. I mean, the whole thing probably goes for, more than 20 hours of material there, I think. And so it's kind of like a real long movie. It's like a 20-hour movie, the way it's shot. I mean, even though it's TV, even though it's trying to be a nighttime soap opera and a police procedural, but really it's like an art film that just goes in the format of a serial.
Well, I think he was originally an artist and a filmmaker, but then he teamed up with David Frost, who was the creator of a police program on television, popular at the time. I can't think of the name, forgive me. And they teamed up together to make the series, which was there was season 1 and 2, and then there was the film Fire Walk with Me, and then there's season 3. And we were going to talk a little bit about, he's fascinating, the man, to me, because I find that he just, like, he pulls in, so many different elements into his filmmaking, and it's kind of like it leaves you guessing, and a part of that's good, because then it kind of it forces you to think or imagine, and then and you just can't stop watching it, because you need to find understanding, and then it's fun, all of the different characters that he pulls into the series, and how some of them sort of operate outside of time, if you will.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've never seen a series which is more open to the idea of deliverance ministry and casting out demons than Twin Peaks is. I think that deserves a lot of credit just for, being able to bring awareness to that. Mm-hmm. Because it's showing the concept of, spirits entering into people and them opening up gateways to have the spirits enter into them, and then they're possessed, and then they have to be cast out. So, these are, important concepts to remember in the modern times now that so many people don't believe in anything like that anymore. And, it's really thorough what they've done with Twin Peaks. I mean, they have scenes like above the convenience store where they're showing like a dream state that's showing the powers and principalities that are over the town. And they have mysterious people that apparently are witches or something that are unexplained witches come in every so often. Mm-hmm. And it's just to me, it's like a really realistic thing. I'm surprised to see that much realism in a television show.
It does, but then there's also, it's presented, I think that he's almost able to get away with it because he presents it in a surrealist sort of format. And because I think you're it's almost, I don't know, it's really fascinating, and I just I think we're kind of we're lifting that veil currently right now, and it's and dealing with and you can and it's palpable, the undercurrent of what's going on in our society and culture, and we're all kind of like depressed and low, and we don't know why, and we don't understand why we're sad, and and I think it's because we all are kind of plugged in to the spiritual realm, and all of humanity is really suffering right now, and so to some extent we're all kind of purging and having to repent.
I think that one of the things that's just really commendable about Twin Peaks is that it does just such a good job of showing you every aspect of a small town having, connections into, prostitution and human trafficking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I remember that was, at 15, I recall, being like, oh, okay, life makes so much sense to me now.